What is up, everybody? I am Kevin Ioli, and that young man's name is going to be in lights on Saturday, or it probably already is in lights right now in Las Vegas. Richard Torrez Jr., the Olympic silver medalist, he will be headlining at the Palms in Las Vegas against Guido Vianello. Richard, how are you, and how exciting is it to be headlining in Las Vegas, of all places?
No, I'm doing really well. And to be headlining in Vegas, nonetheless, my first main event as well, my first fight in Vegas, actually, it's incredible. I've been working really hard at the Olympic Training Center right now, and I'm on my way back. I just got back in Tulare last week, and I'm just super excited to be able to show off all the hard work that I put in camp.
You know, you've been a highly touted prospect for a long time, but it almost seems to me like with this fight, the Top Rank is telling the world they believe you're taking that next level. Like you're no longer a prospect, but you're now becoming maybe a contender. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that it's been really hard because I feel like Top Rank's been trying to slowly build me and give me better and better opponents each time. But it's just that like I've been passing the test each time pretty well. And so with that being said, like a lot of people are kind of downplaying some of the other guys I fought, like some veterans and stuff like that. But
Right.
I think that it's really hard to downplay Guido because he's done so well in his last couple performances. He's a big guy. He's a guy around my age as well. And he's ready to fight. He's trying to prove just as much as I am. And I think that's why this is really going to be a good battle.
You are 12-0 with 11 KOs. Really, I think probably should, be fair. It should be 12-12, right? Because that DQ was about to be a KO. You're a -230 favorite. He is plus 180. Do you feel pressure going into a fight where not only are you fighting the best guy of your career, but you're more than a 2-1 favorite to win? Does that put any extra pressure on you?
If I'm being honest with you, it kind of takes a little bit of pressure off because the last couple of times I've been like 1,000-1 to win, and that was a little bit more jarring, because I was like, oh, if I get messed up by this guy or if I get hit by this guy in like a lucky shot, then it's gonna be like career ending, but or like altering. With this, I think it's more like, even though I'm 2-1, I think he's a 2016 Olympian. He's the best in his country. He went toe to toe with FA. He beat that last guy brutally too. I mean, I don't think it's pressure for me because I think it's actually a closer fight than what I'm used to, and that's why I'm kind of happy about it. And also, preparation kills anticipation. You know what I mean? Like I've been preparing so hard and for so long that I'm ready. The nerves are kind of gone. The pre-fight nerves, they've been gone in sparring, and I've gone them out in the runs. I ran right before this. I'm excited to show what I can do, and I think that Guido is the perfect guy to do that. So it takes a little nerves off, actually.
I haven't heard anybody complain that, hey, they're pushing you too fast. Right now, Jared Anderson had that a couple of years ago when he fought Martin Piccoli, right? And that was the thing, Jared's running for the money. Well, I always go, if you're getting punched in the face for a living, shouldn't you try to take as much money as you can get, right? I mean, it's not fun to get punched in the face. But like when you look at that kind of matchmaking, did you understand Jared and his team's decision to take the Piccoli fight, or did you look at it from a prospect standpoint and say, well, he probably could use a little more experience before he fights somebody like Piccoli?
I think Jared and I, even though we might be on opposite sides of the coin, we're on the same coin still, and we have a very similar mindset in some ways. I think that the way that he saw it is he thinks he's the best in the world, and I think to be a fighter in this division and thrive in anything you do, you have to believe you're the best. And so Jared went into this fight knowing full well that he thought, and believing, confirming he was the best. He just wanted to validate that in the ring. So I don't knock Jared at all for taking that fight because just like him, I don't say no to fights. What I am happy about on my side, at least though, is I have the right team and people around me to tell me where to go and when to do it. I've been following Top Rank's advice, my dad's advice, my entire team's advice. Because I know that they have the best interest in me. But my dad likes to compare me to like a dog on a chain. If he lets me go, I'm going for whoever.
That's crazy. So, a guy that I think is a good person to compare to is Daniel Dubois, the IBF heavyweight champion, because I remember when he was at your stage, 9, 10, 11, 12 fights. And I was thinking, boy, this guy is really good. And then he got dropped a couple fights and, all of a sudden a lot of people went off the bandwagon. And maybe it was like now when he does what he did to AJ, it sort of brings everybody back on the bandwagon. Is that just sort of how fans are and the media is, just up and down and whoever the latest moment of the month? Or do you think there is something to this idea that, hey, I need to see, a progression and not just big jumps each time out?
I think you're only as good as your last fight in the media, And so with that being said, it's kind of hard to judge your career off of what people have been telling you. And I think that the best way to judge your career is, again, by having a strong foundation of people that have a game plan for you and setting goals and achieving those goals. I don't think you can look at it from outside or external forces like the media, because if you have one bad day, then they're gonna rip into you. If you have one great day, then you're the best in the world. And so I think sticking to the plan and having a solid idea of where you want to go is the best way to judge your success.
I want to ask you about, George Foreman passed recently, and he fought for the same company, Top Rank, that you're fighting for. He was an Olympic medalist. He won the gold medal. You were a silver medalist. So there's some similarities there. Is there anything when you look at the arc of George's career where he starts off 37-0 before he gets a title shot, wins a title in a dominating fashion, and then he has the slip up to Ali, and it looks like his career is going the wrong way, and then he comes back with that beautiful knockout of Michael Moore. Is there anything from that career arc that you can take, like that you learn from it? I know you're still in the process of building, but is there anything you can look at what he's done that will teach you to prepare you as you go forward?
I think George Foreman is just an all-time great, and I think to be able to compare myself to him is I still have to work really hard to do so. But in trying to follow in some of his footsteps, I think one thing I can learn from his career is this too shall pass. He's been at the highest career, he's been at the lowest career, and he was able to just persevere each time and to get to where he wanted to be. But I think seeing the ups and downs of careers like that, of like everyone loved him, everyone hated him, counted him out, everyone's telling him he's the best. It kind of lets you know that sometimes you're just a flavor of the month in the media. I've found that out sometimes myself, that like, okay, well, either they're gonna hate you or they're gonna love you, but just make sure they watch. And I think one of the best ways to do that in boxing is to have a really strong punch, like he did, and it kept people coming back for more.
How much do you feel like, the division now, Usyk has said he's going to fight, one or two more times, right? The division is changing. You've got a lot of, Joe Parker's up at the top, but he's, I think, 35, a funny guy like you, Parker's, I don't know if you watch his videos, but his videos are classic, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
So so the division is kind of turning over, right? And so yourself and Bakhtir Jalilov and some of the guys that have been around for a while in the amateurs, turning in the pro, are the ones going to be taking over. What do you think the public is going to think of the heavyweights, say 2 years from now, when you are all at maturity and all ready to fight at the highest level?
I think that the public will start thinking about the heavyweight boxers in 2 years from now, how they kind of thought about the heavyweight boxers 4 years ago in the Olympics. I think some of the amateurs, or at least the amateur fanatics, they knew that the Olympics were a great breeding ground for the heavyweights. People were watching. There was some really good competition, some really great bouts, and I think that people will start being able to see them in the pros now. Because I think one thing about my class is I really feel like we're not afraid to fight each other. We did it on the amateurs. We've done it recently. If you look at Jared, he's not afraid to fight people. I've told people I'm not afraid to fight people. I hope I get the opportunity to prove that soon. A lot of these guys, like, we want the smoke, we want the action, we want to show that heavyweight boxing is still here to stay. And I think that that's one great thing that we'll be able to showcase a lot more in as we grow through our careers.
Heavyweight boxing goes through ups and downs because I think, a lot, at least during my lifetime, boxing has been secondary for big guys to sports like football, basketball, etc. Right. So the best athletes are a lot of times choosing those other sports over boxing. Do you feel like that when you look at the group that you're coming up with that are going to be the guys that you're going to be competing with for the title, do you feel like this is going to be an up group, like, one of the groups where I think of the 90s when we had Tyson and Bo and Holyfield and, Tommy Morrison, and there were so many really talented guys all around the same age?
Yeah, I definitely think that that's what's going on right now. I think that, I mean, if you look at the UK, well, they got a bunch of UK fighters. We have a bunch of USA fighters now, all speaking the same language, one of the main languages that bring in the money. I think it's gonna be a great thing for the United States because like we'll be able to hear what everybody's saying and be able to understand them. And everyone's around the same age. You can't really beat that. And not only that is everybody wants to fight. We're all proving something. We all want to show that we're the best. We all want to show that where we come from, where we're going, and our mindset is the right mindset to have. And it's amazing to witness, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
I want to ask you about two of the fighters that are out there. One's a little bit ahead of you, but the other one I'll start with is the one that's a little bit behind you. Younger is Moses Itawa. He was talking about winning the title with becoming the youngest, and I think that date has passed. I think his birthday was this month, and he had to do it. So I think that date has passed. But what do you think of Moses? I mean, he's been an impressive guy, and do you feel like he's somebody that you may be staring across from at some point soon?
Yeah, I mean, I think his last couple of fights have been really interesting and impressive, and being able to do that on such a large scale because, like those nerves, I mean, no matter what, they're going to get to the kid. I mean, how old is he now? He's 20.
He's 20. 20.
So, like, yeah, it's super impressive to be able to do that at such a young age. I remember going to the Olympics at 20, like just turned 21, and you get those butterflies, and it's a little different when you're in the ring and the pro ring because you're not following a team; it's only you. And so I commend them a lot for that. But I would love to share the ring with them. I think that being able to hop over a pond and get one of those fights out, it would be really cool. Not only him, but any of those UK guys, I'm really rooting for because I think that anytime you have two English-speaking guys from different countries, it's going to be a battle.
I was going to say, if you go over there and you fight, right, and with the personality that you have and the style of fighting that you have, if the timing is right, I could see like another 90,000 like they had for Joshua and Dubois, right? I mean, you couldn't do it next fight and get that kind of crowd. But I think, if you look at yourself, you say, hey, there's some possibilities there that I could be doing some really big things.
Yeah, no, and it's all about progression. But at the end of the day, we got this fight on Saturday, April 5th, and that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm training for. It's good to have those guys in the back of your mind a little bit, but I'm fully focused and ready for not just the UK guy, but for the Italy guy.
And let's wrap with this. He is I think 13-2 now. 6'6", big tall guy, got a long reach. How does that impact how you fight, and how do you think you're going to be able to take advantage and win this fight?
I think that actually plays in my style a little bit. I like being the guy that comes forward, is the aggressor. I like being able to make you work, and I mean, I've seen that style numerous times in the amateurs. The big guy that wants to move on me because they don't want me to get inside. And usually I'm a little upset. I only get 3 rounds with them because I can feel them giving. And to be able to have the ability to have 10 rounds, oh man, I'm gearing for it. I'm excited to show my conditioning ability, and I'm excited to show just how hard I've been working because I have been working incredibly hard.
So you mentioned your conditioning. A lot of times the one thing you say about a heavyweight is, hey, they're going to give you 3 or 4 good rounds, but then get into round 5 and they're not there. Like, are you telling me right now that, hey, we're going to be talking about, my God, did you see the punches Richard Torrez was throwing in round 7 and 8?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm the one thing I'm super confident in. I'm able to talk about because I know I have it is my conditioning. And see me round 10, I'm gonna be punching just as much as he punched in round 3. So it's gonna be a fireworks show, and I'm gonna stay there, be in his face all night. It's gonna be a fight to watch.
Keep an eye on him, Richard Torrez. You will see him on Saturday on ESPN at the Palms in Las Vegas against Guido Vianello, one of the top young fighters in the world. Richard, always good to talk to you, my friend. Wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it. Pleasure to talk to you as well.
Good to see you.